Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. Today we are going to look at the first day's playing the second test match between Pakistan and Australia, which was a very eventful day, one could say, as Pakistan actually had Fakhar Zaman making his test debut today. In fact, there were two people who actually missed their centuries. One was Fakhar Zaman out six short of his maiden test run, and Sarfraz Ahmed, the Pakistan captain, who really got back into some very good form with a 94, also missed the century, but not before there was immense drama in the initial stages when Nathan Lyon totally bamboozled there was a sort of mistakes committed by the Pakistan batsmen, but Nathan Lyon really bowled well to pick up four wickets to have Pakistan slump to 57 for 5 at one stage, and only then the recovery started from the batting of Fakhar Zaman, who really played well on his test debut, curbing his natural instinct to play his strokes, and his captain Sarfraz Ahmed was with him to nurture the Pakistan innings. But then finally they were bowled out for 282, and at close of play, Australia were not doing any better as they had lost two wickets for 28 runs at close of play, two for 20 at close of play. So I'll be talking about this game, and also tomorrow there's a third one day international which is coming up between Sri Lanka and England. It is coming at in the hill in a spot where it's a hilly place, Kandy. So and then we'll have a look at some cricket news as well. But first, let's head off to Abu Dhabi and let's see what happened on this first day of the second test match between Pakistan and Australia. It was a good toss to win. Sarfraz Ahmed, the Pakistan captain, calling rightly and rightly so, electing to bat first. As far as Pakistan were concerned, they decided to have debuts for two players. One was Fakhar Zaman and the opener, and the other one was Mir Hamza, the left-arm pace bowler. And it all started off with with the Pakistan opening pair of Mohammad Hafiz and Fakhar Zaman walking into bat. And it all started off, in fact, the day started off with a very, I would say, a sort of a very crude happening, a sort of a very strange happening that happened where Mohammad Hafiz was caught by Labuschagne. Now this was very interesting. He was caught at short leg. Labuschagne was standing at short leg, forward short leg, and the ball was a ball which was coming onto the pads of Mohammad Hafiz. Mohammad Hafiz was shaping to actually flick it away, but in the process, he could not get it straight. He clipped it firmly off the bat, and it was that forward shot like Labuschagne. First, the ball hit the inner thigh, dropped onto his right knee, and then as he bent down, it went and hit the calf, and then finally Labuschagne was able to scoop it up on his right hand, and finally not only did he scoop it up with his right hand, but again the ball actually went and settled between his legs as he went back. And what a catch! I mean, this is a catch which probably one would have never seen in cricket, where, as I said, hit the inner thigh, went onto the right knee, bobbed onto the calf, and then finally settled in between his legs. And the decision was he was out. And Mohammad Hafiz was a big wicket. So it was a very early breakthrough, but provided in a very strange manner. But nevertheless, Australians would be very happy because Mohammad Hafiz is a very dangerous player. He was gone, caught Labuschagne bowled, start for 4 with a solitary boundary. Azhar Ali walked in and he was joined in. Azhar Ali joined Fakhar Zaman. Now the score was 5 for 1 at that stage, and then Azhar Ali in the company of Fakhar Zaman. Fakhar Zaman was really watchful. He was not trying to play in his natural manner, and understanding that he was playing a test match, he definitely played well. He was trying to build up an innings. As Azhar Ali came in, and Azhar Ali, well, he and Fakhar Zaman pushed on the score from 5 for 1 to 57, and 57 was not a good number for Pakistan today, as from 57 for 1, they slumped to 57 for 5. It all started up with the spinner being introduced, Nathan Lyon, and let's see what happened. As I said, the number 57 proved to be a sort of an unlucky number for Pakistan, as they slumped to 57 for 5, and it all was started by Nathan Lyon. Azhar Ali. Now Azhar Ali, normally he did this in the first innings as well. Now this was Azhar Ali coming out of his crease, and he was going to drive it against the turn inside out. He did not get to the pitch of the ball, and it was all over, as he actually bobbed up a catch to Nathan Lyon, who accepted it gleefully. And once again, Nathan Lyon, this was very nicely done by Nathan Lyon. I thought he fooled Azhar Ali in the flight, and that was it for Azhar Ali. Azhar Ali gone, cotton ball line 15 with 2 boundaries, Pakistan 57 for 2. Haris Sohail was the next to go. As far as Haris Sohail was concerned, this was a wonderful catch taken by Travis Head, showing sharp reflexes. There was, in fact, Nathan Lyon was getting the ball to turn and bounce. He was putting a lot of body into his bowling there, and this ball turned and bounced, and Haris Sohail was gone as he tried to push at it, and the ball took the edge, went on to Travis Head at Silly Point, and at Silly Point, definitely Travis Head showing great reflexes to pick up one more wonderful catch there, as the Pakistan score read 57 for 3. Haris Sohail was gone for a blob. So 57 for 3 soon became 57 for 4 when the next wicket to go was Asad Shafiq. Asad Shafiq was the next to go. Now this was a ball which really turned sharply. It took the it had a deflection. It had probably a thin edge. They reviewed it, but it was all over, as Asad Shafiq was this time caught by Labuschagne once again into the picture, bowled by Nathan Lyon for naught, and Nathan Lyon was on an absolute roll here, as the Pakistan score read 57 for 4. And then this was, according to me, the most craziest part of it, because after with the Pakistan score on 57 for 4, who would have expected Babar Azam to leave his wicket? I mean, this was like a sort of this was a very poor shot from Babar Azam, and I'm sure the Mickey Arthur was looking at it, and he was absolutely furious. And why not? Because he came down the wicket, and he was beaten all ends up with the ball that had dip and turn. It was all over. I mean, this was something which was the most worst dismissal, according to me, because under the circumstances at 57 for 4, nobody would have left the crease and tried to give the bowler a tonk. And that's what precisely Babar Azam tried to do. He paid the penalty in a very heavy manner, as he was the ball went on to elude his bat, and it went past his bat and went and hit the stumps, as Babar Azam was gone, bowled by Nathan Lyon for naught. And now the Pakistan innings was in shambles at 57 for 5, with only Fakhar Zaman, the test debutant, staying at the crease. So it definitely required a sort of a a sort of a rebuilding effort from Pakistan, and that came about thanks to the Pakistan captain Sarfraz Ahmed. At the other end, as I said, Fakhar Zaman, and also Nathan Lyon started off his spell in this second test with first bowling 3 overs, 3 maiden overs on the trot when he started, but then probably he got a feel of the wicket, and he definitely started bowling a different line. I mean, same line, but he was definitely really scheming as to how to bowl to the Pakistanis, and there came the rewards. Sarfraz Ahmed decided that the best way to combat Lion, even though Babar Azam was gone, it was Sarfraz Ahmed who decided that he is not going to be, he is not going to keep quiet, but he is continuing to play strokes, and that's what he precisely did. Fakhar Zaman was all about very good defense and also taking toll of the loose ball, and that's what precisely Fakhar Zaman and Sarfraz Ahmed did. In fact, from 57 for 5, when this Pakistan innings was in a shambles, they had to really work hard, Fakhar Zaman and Sarfraz Ahmed. So Sarfraz Ahmed decided to counterpunch at the Aussie bowlers, and which really yielded results for him as things went on. And then a very good, this partnership really helped matters for Pakistan, as a 147 runs partnership was put on by Fakhar Zaman and Sarfraz Ahmed. And then finally, when Fakhar Zaman was batting on 94, looking good for a test debut ton, a maiden ton on his test debut, Labuschagne was the one who broke that stand, and it was very important for Australia to take a wicket, and that's what precisely Labuschagne did. Now this was the leggy actually bowling a ball which turned again. Probably Fakhar Zaman was expecting the googly, but on the other hand, it was not a googly, it was a leg break, and the ball actually went on to hit his pad, and it was all over for Fakhar Zaman. He had missed his century at the stroke of 3. Fakhar Zaman left. LBW bowled Labuschagne for 94 with 8 fours and 1 6. And Fakhar Zaman definitely deserved a lot of credit for playing such a restrained innings for Pakistan on his test debut. So Fakhar Zaman out for 94, 8 fours, 1 6. And then now it was the onus was definitely falling on the Sarfraz Ahmed, the captain, as Bilal Asif came in. But Bilal Asif was the next to go. Labuschagne got into the act once again, and he picked up the wicket of Bilal Asif. That was a superb leg break delivery from Labuschagne. He tossed it up outside the off stump. Bilal wanted to defend the ball, but the ball turned and bounced, and Tim Paine behind the wickets made no mistake. And that was the end of Bilal Asif. Caught Paine, bowled Labuschagne for 12, 1 boundary. And then Labuschagne added another big wicket to his bag here, as he picked up the wicket of Sarfraz Ahmed. Now this was Sarfraz Ahmed who was approaching his century, and this was not a good shot from Sarfraz Ahmed because a leg break, once again Labuschagne bowled a leg break to Sarfraz Ahmed. Sarfraz Ahmed went away from the wicket, and he wanted to probably hit a 6 over the long on region, but in the process there was no power in the stroke, and the ball nicely went into the air, and in the cover region Siddle had to taken the easiest of catches, and once again there was another Pakistan player who could not make a century, and this was Sarfraz Ahmed. Caught Siddle, bowled Labuschagne 94 with 7 boundaries, and now one knew the Pakistani end was near with the score on 247 for 8. But Yasir Shah indulged in some sort of stroking the ball well, making 28 of 34 balls, 3 fours and 1 6, before Mitchell Marsh actually ended his innings by getting his leg stump uprooted with a superb Yorker-length delivery, and Yasir tried to have a swing at it, and it was gone. So that made it 9 for 264, and the final wicket was the tail-ender Mohammad Abbas, bowled by Mitchell Starc for 10 with 1 6, as the Pakistan innings came to an end at 282. The test debutant Mir Hamza, the left-arm pace bowler, he was not out on 4, and looking at the bowling figures, Nathan Lyon could not pick up any wicket after that. He could not pick up a 5-wicket bag, as he ended up with 27 overs, 5 maidens, 78 runs and 4 wickets, 3 for 45 for Labuschagne, who bowled excellently, I thought. 1 for 21 Mitchell Marsh, and 2 for 37 for Mitchell Starc. Australia started their reply. They had 7 overs to face from the Pakistan bowlers, and it was Sarfraz Ahmed actually was hit in the morning by a delivery as well on his elbow, I suppose, but he was still brave enough to come and keep wickets. But and he also picked up a marvelous catch. I mean, the breakthrough was provided by Mohammad Abbas with a ball. He actually this ball was going down the leg side. Khwaja wanted to probably glance it fine, but in the process, he got a sort of a slight feather onto the bat. And Sarfraz Ahmed, despite having an injured elbow, one could say, really dived full length to grab a one-handed catch, and that was a big grab as the wicket was Usman Khwaja, who was the nemesis for Pakistan in the first test match, as you remember. And Usman Khwaja was walking back into the pavilion, caught by Sarfraz Ahmed behind the wickets. A brilliant catch by Sarfraz Ahmed behind the wickets off the bowling of Mohammad Abbas for 3. And also, this was Mohammad Abbas' 50th test wicket. And that was a proud feeling because he has become the second fastest Pakistani bowler to 50 test wickets. Now, Mohammad, he was gone for 3. And then Peter Siddle was sent in as night watchman. And Peter Siddle fell absolutely at the stroke of close of play as Mohammad Abbas got a ball, which he does it very well, where he gets the ball to jag in a long way. That's what precisely happened. The ball pitched outside the probably it was outside the off stump, but it came a long way to pin him. He was plumb in front of middle stump, and it was the end of Peter Siddle LBW bowled Mohammad Abbas for 4, as Aaron Finch was not out on 13-2 boundaries, as Pakistan closed the day. Australia closed the day at 20 for 2, with a lot of batting still to come, but it would be a real challenge, according to me, for Australia on this particular wicket. Mohammad Abbas 4 overs, 2 minutes, 2 for 9. The test debutant Mir Hamza, the left-arm pace bowler, bowled a solitary over for 4 runs, and Yasir Shah 2 overs, 1 minute, and none for 7. So there's still a lot of things to look out for tomorrow. That's on the second day. Well, dear fans of the game, but an entertaining day here in Abu Dhabi. Now let's have a look at the third ODI, which is coming up in a very sneak peek, I would say. Now, as you know, the Sri Lankans are the ones who are under pressure. This is going to be played in Kandy, and the Sri Lankans are under pressure because they are the ones who are trailing right now. England are 1-0. So let's have a look at Sri Lanka and see as to what they can do to get things up for themselves to go and level the series here. Now, as far as Sri Lanka are concerned, they have Upul Taranga and Niroshan Dikwala opening the innings. They would expect a good start from them. Now, Samara Vikrama is going to play because the reason being Kushal Pereira is having a sort of a quad strain. So Samara Vikrama should be playing his fourth ODI. Dinesh Chandimal captain the side. Dhananjay De Silva. Dasun Shanaka has already said that he has a big role to play, and he and Dasun Shanaka and Diswa Pereira are the two very strong all-rounders in the Sri Lankan lineup. And then other than that, well, it's Akhil Dhananjaya, Sandakan, Lakshit Malinga and Nuwan Pradeep. But as far as England are concerned, they would be walking in confidence. Jason Roy, Jonathan Bairstow. The only change, I don't find any change. Ollie Stone would definitely be persisted with, and I would be really tempted to see Sam Curran in action, because Sam Curran, as you know, he did very well against India in England, and I think he's a complete package, Sam Curran. So I mean, even his bowling is superb. So I won't see any reason why Sam Curran can't fit in automatically into the England ODI setup and T20 setup, because he definitely has ounces of talent, which he has already shown against India in England with both his batting and bowling exploits. So I think Sam Curran coming into the team would be another all-rounder for them. And as we always know that other than Ollie Stone, this England batting, they bat up till number 10, which is a great asset as far as international cricket is concerned. Well, other than that, I'm trying to see the pitch and conditions here. They say that there are going to be thunderstorms, but they say that the drainage at the Kandy cricket ground is much better than others. So probably even if it rains, they can get it dry. Hopefully, we get a match which goes the whole hog. But It seems very unlikely, according to me. And just before I go, let's have a look at some cricket news before I wind up this cricket show for today. So, the other news that I have is that Shardul Thakur is out of the first two West Indies ODIs. Now, as you know, India and West Indies will be playing in the ODI series. Umesh Yadav, who did well in the test matches, has been called in to do duty in place of Shardul Thakur. And yesterday, one saw that Hashim Amla was out of the Australian series, and today the news comes that JP Duminy will also not be available for the tour of Australia as he has to go for a surgery. Well, dear fans and subscribers, nothing else to really add. Pleasure talking to you on this Cricket Happening show, and with more to come on my next Cricket Happening show, which will be tomorrow. It's good night from Host Ram Studios. Thank you.